Hey everybody, good morning. We're taking a look today at Joshua 21. A major portion of this chapter is focused on the cities that the Levites get with its common land, so that they can go ahead and raise cattle and livestock and feed themselves and stuff like that. The last few verses is actually the promise fulfilled. I'm going to read it. It says, so the Lord gave to Israel all the land of which he had sworn to give their fathers, and they took possession of it and dwelt in it. The Lord gave them rest all around, according to all that he had sworn to their fathers. And not a man of all their enemies stood against them. The Lord delivered all their enemies into their hand. Not a word failed of any good thing which the Lord had spoken to the house of Israel. All came to pass. Now, I want to understand that. I just want to share with you that everything the Lord says will come to pass in your life will come to pass in your life. See, the Lord's word it will not return void. It will not come back to him void. We have to have trust in him. We have to have faith in him. We have to have we have to love him. We have to fall in love with God. And if you've fallen out of love with him, if your Christian walk has just become ritual, ask him to revive that. He can bring life back to it. As we see here, it says in verse 44, the Lord gave them rest all around. If you need rest, ask him. You know, a lot of people like to quote Psalms 23. It says, the Lord is my salvation. He helps me rest in green pastures, near still waters, something like that. I'm not quoting it word for word. And I always think that for a sheep to be in green pastures and is resting, that means there is no worry. That means its belly is full if it's resting in a green pasture, because normally a sheep would eat. We need to be like that with Christ. We need to rest in him. And when we rest in him, he fights the fights that he's supposed to be fighting. You know, I know a lot of times, even in my own life, I try to fight. I try to battle in things that aren't meant for me to battle. And when I'm doing that, I'm fighting against him and what he wants done, and how he wants to become the victor in these little battles. Yeah, some things we need to fight for, sure. Some things we need to let him fight, and we need to let his promises be fulfilled in our lives. Now, that will only come through trust. That will only come through faith. That will only come through relationship in him. And it will only come through if we are to rest in him. So, I love you all. Have a super, super day.